How's it going, guys? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Ruslan G, and you've come to the right place if you're looking to become more healthy, wealthy, and happy. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about silver, and is it a good investment? Is it worth investing and putting your money into? Hard-earned money doesn't come easy, so you want to make sure you're putting it into the right place, and silver might be just that, and we're going to be talking about that here. And if you haven't seen the gold video, go check that out. I'm going to link it in the top right hand or left hand section. You're going to see it pop up at the end of the video, so go check that out. And without further ado, let's dive right into this one. All right, so what makes silver a good investment, a bad investment? What are the characteristics of silver that make it an investment in general? So one of the very first things that I'd like to talk about silver is that the silver supply is finite. So with money, current money that you can go out and you can print, and it's actually more digitized than ever before. Jerome Powell can go in and just pull the money lever and money comes flowing to everyone's bank accounts. That is a possibility with the dollar. Now, of course, that's going to devalue the dollar, and that's something that doesn't really exist with silver because silver is finite. There's only a limited supply. Just like with gold, there's only a certain amount of supply that exists on this earth that you can mine, right? And eventually it's going to run out, and that's what makes it so interesting. The second thing that makes silver such an interesting investment is that there's a long history of silver being in the market. With silver coins, they're worth about 20, 30 bucks an ounce. Now this bar here is probably roughly about between $200 and $400 depending on the time you're watching this and what silver price is at. But overall, silver is a very low costly investment. And that leads us into number 3, which silver is cheap. Silver is actually so cheap that you could actually go in and buy some groceries with some silver. Obviously, maybe the grocery store might not take your silver. So for example, if we were going through an economic crash and me and you wanted to trade, I could give you a $30 silver coin and you could give me $30 worth of value of your product or service. So if that was the case where, the dollar is depreciating in such a high value, and again, if you haven't watched the gold video, I talk about Zimbabwe where their currency got devalued so much over such a short period of time. And a lot of them actually had to rely on silver, gold, digitalized assets, barter and trade, and all sorts of types of things because their currency was being devalued so much. So if we had something like that in the United States or in Europe or in other parts of the world, if we had something like that, you would want assets like this because they don't devalue and you can still use them for trade. And they're very, very cheap. So if you want to give someone a gift for their birthday, something that's a hard asset and, maybe they like investing, silver is a great option for that because silver is very cheap. So when I got silver for one of my birthdays, I think it was a few years back, and it was like 8 or 9 or 10, something like that, silver coins, I was super excited. At the time, I think silver was running about $12 to $14 an ounce. So it wasn't very, very expensive to get. Now I think it's roughly about 24, 26, especially now with the economic crash that happened recently in March of 2020. Silver price actually has gone up, almost double from that long time ago. So if you think about that, silver is a great asset because it has a long history of being traded, it's cheap, and it is finite. So those, in my opinion, are the reasons what makes silver such a good investment, and hopefully you can see that too. And next, I'm gonna dive in why I buy silver and what the market is showing as far as silver potentially increasing in value over the long term. And some of this could even be in the short term. So let's dive into that. All right, so why do I think silver is a good asset? One of the biggest things with silver is that silver is being used up in technology, and that is decreasing silver's supply, right? We all know supply and demand. When there's a lot of demand but not a lot of supply, the price goes up. And so that's what's happening with silver right now, especially because silver is being used up more and more in things like electronics, cell phones, batteries, solar panels. Those types of things are not going away. If anything, we've seen an increase in the amount of technology that's being produced in the 21st century. So if first world countries, second world countries, third world countries are using up a lot of this technology, what's gonna happen is eventually we're gonna start to run out of silver supply. And actually back in 2014 and 2015, you could see that the top 10 largest silver producing countries have actually seen a decline in the amount of silver that they've been mining. And at the same time, the silver supply has gone down. All the meanwhile, the demand for silver has actually increased drastically because people are realizing, especially companies that make technology, they're realizing that, hey, we need to own more silver because that's gonna help us make better products, make better solar panels, make better cell phones. Those types of things, they're not going away. And back in the day, silver was mostly used for jewelry and silverware and religious material. But overall, over the last decade or so, we've completely switched to now silver is being used more primarily, not even for investments or jewelry, right? Any of those things. It's being used for specific in technology, right? The technology sector has blown up over the last decade, since the dot-com bubble. And what has allowed that is silver. Silver is in everything that we use. There is some silver in the cell phone that I'm using to record this video. There is some silver that is in your phone or your tablet or your laptop that you're using to watch this video. Isn't that fascinating?
Oh my God! Wow!
So if you think about it, the supply of silver is decreasing. The demand is increasing. And there's a finite amount of silver that exists in the world. So if that is the case, then we are going to see the price of silver go up over time, whether it's short term or long term, however you're looking to invest. I personally believe that silver is gonna go up over time. And that is why I have some silver for myself. And I think you should too. Again, this is not investment advice. These are just my opinions. But just looking at the data, looking at the trends that's happening all around us, you start to realize that the price of silver is going to increase like it has been over time. And why not join the silver revolution? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. If this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That really helps out. And if you made it all the way through this video, smash that like button because that really helps us out. And if there's anything you'd like to see in a future video, go leave that down in the comment section below. And hopefully you guys really had fun in this video because I had a lot of fun making it. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.